Okay, today we are going to paint a few winter hats. I still have a couple sections of my sketchbook here that are long and thin. So I'm not sure if you can see, I have a line that goes across right about here. So I'm gonna work in this space up here, and I'm just gonna use a pencil and draw some hats. I'll make the first one dark so that you can see the outline. But after that, I'll probably make them a little bit lighter because remember, once you paint over pencil, you can't erase it anymore. So if you don't want your pencil to show, you have to work pretty light. So I'm gonna make the first hat shaped like this. And this one's pretty big. You could make yours a little bit smaller if you want. And then, let's see, how do I wanna do the brim? I'm gonna try something different here. I think I'm just gonna make it about that wide. And let's give this one a pom-pom top. What do you think? And then I'm gonna do another one a little bit, and I gotta squeeze them in pretty close together here so that they fit. I wanna try and make one with ear flaps. Kind of goes down like that. Okay, and then how about another one with a puff ball, but this one I'm gonna make taller and skinnier. With a really wide brim. And then what if we also make a Santa hat? Would that be fun? So a Santa hat goes up and then it comes down farther on this other side. I'll erase my bottom line so we have a little more room here. And then down here is the puff ball. And then it comes up. Hold on a second. Wait just a minute here. Okay. I'm making this other side a little bit shorter so it can come over and then down. It's a little bit like a nightcap. And then we can give it a white brim underneath there. So this is the hat coming up and then kind of drooping down on one side. Okay, there's 4 hats. Let's do it. I think I want a puff ball on this one too. They're cute. Okay, so I think instead of mixing colors today, I'm just gonna work straight out of the palette again. And I'm gonna do it kind of like these mugs where the background of the hat is a light color, and that way we can paint on top with a darker, brighter color. So just choose some colors and fill in the background. Oh, let's see. Vivian's here painting with me and she's asking me what size this is. This one is a size 6. I'm gonna use this to paint in the backgrounds. Good question. And then I'll probably use the teeny skinny brush on top, but you can do whatever works best for you. Okay, I know for sure this Santa hat is gonna be red, so I'm gonna start with that because I don't have to think about or make a decision about it. So I'm gonna make sure that I have water on my brush and I'm gonna paint just the top of this, not the puff ball and not the brim because those need to be white. And since I'm probably not painting on top of this, we don't have to keep it real pale. So this could be a pretty deep, dark red if you want. Instead of dipping in my water, I'm getting more paint on my brush, and I'm just gonna add more paint to the places that look kind of pale. Okay. I think I'm gonna do one orange. For a minute, I thought about doing them the same color as these mugs, but nah, I'm gonna do this one orange. I've been having so much fun seeing all the pictures of these paintings that you all are doing. For some of you, your mom or dad is sending them to me or putting them online for me to see, and I just love it. One thing I heard from someone who is using their paintings as postcards, and they're writing on the back and mailing it off to somebody, which I think is so fun. What a great idea, and a great way to use up these paintings that otherwise might just sit in a pile or sit in a sketchbook somewhere. I thought that was great. I'm going to use lighter orange, I think, on my brim here. And then maybe I'll add some red stripes to this hat once it's dry. Oh, look at that, it's bleeding. Darn it. Oh well. I'm trying to get close to the dark orange without touching it, but I failed. So I'm taking some of that paint back off. I dried my brush on my sponge, remember this trick? And then I'm just wiping it along and taking some paint off. And now it's keeping it kind of pale. Okay, how about, kind of want to do red and white stripes like a candy cane. Vivian says yes. Okay, I'm gonna do that on this one and this one with the ear flaps. Should we make this green? Blue. Blue. Okay. I'm gonna do this blue. It's kind of turning into a weird gray blue, but I'm gonna do blue, and then I think I'll put dark blue polka dots on top. When it has to be pretty dry for that. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did over here. I'm drying my brush off, and I'm gonna take some of this color back off. First of all, it'll dry faster, and second of all, it'll be much more pale so that my polka dots will show up really well. Okay, candy cane stripes, right? I wanna mix up, I know I said I was gonna work right out of my palette, but I wanna mix up a really pale pink. So with just a tiny bit of red and a small bit of white, probably need more white than red. Even more white. I think I want to use white to outline some of those puff balls, or to put a little outline on Santa's hat. Otherwise, we're just looking at pencil. So I'm gonna make this go over the pencil line with pink, and I'll go over this. It's like the white fur on his hat. I'll give it a little border. And then when the red's dry, I could add more border to it. And then I was thinking this puff ball on the orange hat could be cute to make it pink. Kind of fun. Trying so hard not to touch that orange. Okay, and now let's do some candy cane stripes. Ready, Viv? Okay. I think I'm gonna do them diagonally. Do you like that idea? Diagonal candy cane stripes. Okay, I'm gonna outline the hat first. That's easier to do first than afterwards. All right, let's make these stripes. I'm gonna start in the middle and just go down like that. And now I can go above it and below it and keep it in the same stripe line. If I'd started at the bottom, I think it could have, the stripes would get weird by the top, by the time I got to the top. So I can see Vivian did thicker lines, wide stripes, which is really fun. I'm using my tiny brush, so it's taking me just a little bit longer. Should I do stripes on the brim? Maybe make them go the other way. Or I think I'm gonna do up and down stripes on the brim. I have a lot of stripe going on. And I think I'm gonna do polka dots on this up here. Okay, I think that the blue is dry enough now. I'm gonna try and wipe off a little of this orange. It's super wet right here. But I think the blue's dry, so we could do dark blue dots. I'm gonna outline it with dark blue. Then I'll be able to check to see how dry it is. Yeah, it's not spreading. Oop, almost touched the red hat with my hand. It's tricky. Do you want to use some of my pink? You can. You want to use my sponge? Sure. Okay, I'm gonna do some big dots. I'm gonna do a couple at the edge so they look like they're going around the back of the hat. Maybe down here. And then the rest can be right on the front. Oh, maybe there's one on the edge right there too. They can't all the dots can't just be on the front, you know? I'm getting more paint on my brush every time I do a dot because I want them to stay really dark. I think there's part of a dot down here. That looked kind of blank. Okay, there's those dots, and now I'm gonna do red stripes. I'm touching this one. If your paint feels cold, then it's not dry yet. I don't think that's dry yet. But I'm gonna try red stripes. This one's gonna get red stripes too. The bottom is dry enough, the brim. And it's really starting to get dark, so I hope you can see this okay. Oh boy. It's really spreading, Vivian. Mine is. Sometimes I use a hairdryer. You can dry your watercolors with a hairdryer. Just be careful that the hairdryer isn't on a really hot setting and don't get it too close to the paper. Sometimes it makes the paper bend and really warp if you dry it too fast. Look at all that red that just got down in there. Okay, so now I have to be patient. And I'm gonna end the video, but I'll tell you what my plan is for this orange hat. My plan is, let's see if I can do one of them. I'm gonna do stripes starting at the top and coming down all the way down to the brim. I'm gonna try and make them a really vibrant, bright red so that they really show up against that orange. But this whole side of this hat is still really wet, so I can't do it quite yet. And then I'm gonna do stripes like this on the brim. It looks like red is really traveling into this pink now, so that is gonna change the color of the puff ball. That's fine. So that's my plan. I'm gonna do stripes along here. I'm gonna do some vertical stripes coming down, kind of curving down from the top on this orange hat. And then when this Santa hat is dry, I'm gonna finish outlining the front with pink. And that's that. Come back tomorrow and we'll do a row of colorful mittens. And maybe, you know what I think we should do? We should make mittens that match each of these hats. So they'd be like a match set. Okay, see you tomorrow.